Well, good afternoon. Lunchtime, lunch hour. The sun is out and the Kansas sky are ready for opening day 2022. How about a little Monarchs Mocha here on our Facebook and YouTube channel? Roll the open. Here we go. Oh well. Oh well, I'll push pause there. I know what's going on. It's not showing on the screen, so but if you're hearing the music, that's always cool, right? I mean, there's that. Oh, well. If it's going to be a rocky start, let's let it happen here at lunch, right? Let's not wait around and do it later on, right? Got my really for the first time all week, you can actually sort of have there's a choice: iced coffee or regular coffee. And today I've got regular coffee. Got a little pike roast and some almond milk ready to go right here. Ooh, T-Mobile cup. All right, we've got now no sleeps. We're done. We are no more sleeps. We are opening day upon us. Just what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours? First pitch away? Yeah, 7 hours. How about that? A little rain overnight in the metro, but field looks great. Green. Sun has come out in the last hour and a half. It's kind of weird. I usually do my morning walk, 7:45-ish, somewhere in there. And when I walked out the door, I went, this ain't good for business. It was coming out pretty hard. So I had to go to the little workout room. And there I saw Joe Capietra. And Joe and I worked out together today. Well, not his workout regime's a little different than mine. I'm just trying to get down the treadmill. He actually lifts weights and treadmills. I got some work to do, don't I? All right. I will take your questions and comments from the show. I'm waiting for the Connor Ryan interview to load, and I believe it is finally there. Connor and I taped this yesterday. Of course, they're traveling today, are the Sioux City Explorers, and they'll again, I hope these are just signs for right now and not for the broadcast, because I'm plugged in and all that. And anyway, what else is going on? Well, we got a matchup tonight. Kevin McCanna, who is I think I told you yesterday, left-hander. He's actually a right-hander going tonight for the Explorers. Lefty Matt Hall, a great matchup in this one. And Connor and I are going to talk about this a bit. I don't want to give away too much of the interview, but we talk about some of the budding rivalry here. When it seemed like Kansas City's rival was Wichita over the years, Lincoln to a degree. There was a little bit of a rival. Sorry about that with Gary said. Oh, wait, Nick's behind me. He's slinging a ticket. Hello, everybody. Happy opening day from Nick. He it's actually in Nick yesterday looked like he was a worn out kangaroo in the bush. He was like panning because it was like 81 here in the booth, but now it's a nice 70 degrees here, so we're very in the booth here. I mean, this is Nick allows me to hang out in his office. It's kind of a cool deal. All right, I think we're about ready to go. Let me try this and see there it is. Going to show up. Before I go ahead and roll this, just the thought, and I want to get your thoughts on the back end as a Monarch fan of this franchise, whose franchise does date back to the Northern League. Who were the rivals? I mean, again, I think Wichita for a long time was a big rival. Lincoln, and then there was a stretch there, 08 to 11-ish. The Garys were a big rival. Lately, Cleburne sort of was that rival until they switched divisions. That's been more recently, but I think if you go back at least the entire, let's say, last 6-7 years, It's been Sioux City. In all those games have been high stakes. The series have been high stakes, 3 playoff series. There's been a couple of key series, one a sweep here that propelled the Monarchs into the division. Actually, it was a 2 of 3, I believe. It was lost the final game of the season. Sioux City got in the playoffs that final day as the wild card. Of course, the big series in 2018 up there in the postseason, and the opening series last year, the opener in 19. So a lot of back and forth. There's always been these dip and tuck things, and no matter who the principals are, these things are usually pretty close, and they kind of swing on 1 or 2 plays. And so something Connor and I are going to talk about. So let's give you Connor Ryan right here on Monarchs Mocha as we celebrate opening day here in Kansas City. Well, Monarchs Mocha continues as we wrap up our week-long look into our division bunkmates in the American Association West Division. We're joined by the one and only Connor Ryan, those Sioux City Explorers, who we'll see tonight at Legends Field in Kansas City. First off, Connor, are you geared up? Your bags packed? You ready to go? Hit the road?
I don't have the bags packed just yet, but that's definitely on the to-do list here tonight. So we'll hit the road early tomorrow morning, and looking forward to being back in Kansas City and the beautiful ballpark you guys have there.
This thing is built into an interesting rivalry, and I don't know from your perspective. I just get the feeling of talking because it's such a close-knit group up there in Sioux City. I know all you guys. I get the feeling from a front office, ballpark perspective, the fan perspective, that they really playing Kansas City is a pretty big deal. Playing the Monarchs is a pretty big deal. On the field, I think Steve Montgomery's troops and his dugout playing Joe Capietra is a pretty big deal. That's pretty easy to say, right? Am I right on target there? This has become the rivalry maybe for the Explorers. It used to be the Canaries, but maybe Kansas City now.
Yeah, no, I mean, and the biggest part about that, I think, is the fact that we have played so many key games. I mean, you think about every time we run into you guys, it feels pretty important. And then not only that, but I don't think there's really been, well, I shouldn't say been a blowout. Last year, you guys were world beaters, but for the most part, they were always very close games. And I always said it always felt like we would race out to a 5-0 lead, and then you guys would chip away. And by the 8th inning, we were tied again, and every pitch mattered. I mean, you think about back to 2018, that those games in the regular season were always close and always tough. And then we play in the playoffs, and it goes to Game 5, and the infamous drop ball in right field. And then the following year in 19, you guys win the division because you beat us on a couple of walk-offs the final weekend, Labor Day weekend. Cleburne gets knocked out the last second, but then we're the ones that take you guys out in the postseason. And then last year, you guys on your way to another championship take us out. So I think it's been 3 years in a row, not counting 2020, that we've met in the postseason. Yeah. So and the biggest part of a rivalry too is that both teams have to win. And both teams have to win meaningful games, and both teams have to kind of break the heart of the other team. And we've certainly kind of done that to each other.
Yeah.
So that's where I would agree. It's definitely become a pretty big time rivalry. And honestly, I can't think of a better way to start off the season than, hey, let's go toe to toe with the defending champs and see what we got to start off the year. So that makes it fun.
It's a great measuring stick, I think, for both ball clubs. And you're right. These games, I think back of even the regular season games, there's always one play here, one play there. There are very few blowouts. I think even last year in the division series, it was a pretty nip and tuck game in Game 1, and boom, the Monarchs get a big grand slam home run and kind of turned the game upside down there. It was nip and tuck. It's kind of been that way. It seems like every time these two teams meet, either in Kansas City or they're up in the Siouxland, on a dime, one key play, and you're talking about the fly ball. I mean, I bet we could sit here over Coldwood and go through about 12 key plays over the last 3 years that we've squared off, right?
Yeah, I know what game you're talking about last year, Game 2. That one hurt.
Game 2.
We had bases loaded, nobody out in the top of the 7th, I believe. We had a chance to take the lead, which was the closest I think you guys came to actually trailing in the postseason, which is impressive. But then we had bases low, nobody out, couldn't push anyone across. You guys had the following bottom half of that inning, had 2 outs, nobody on. loaded the bases, and then Sioux City Explorers killer, which I was not sad to see that he's not on the roster this year. Colin Willis hits the grand slam, and that was the knife to the heart. So no, you're absolutely right. It's been the flip of a coin for a lot of these games between the two of us. Because if we say it's reversed, say we hit the grand slam or we come up with the rally, the series is tied heading back to Sioux City. And
Absolutely.
what happens from there?
Absolutely. Connor Ryan's with us here on Monarchs Mocha. Opening day, been a week-long look at the West Division, which is a new division. Let's get to that quickly here. And I said this to all the guys that have been on, and I'm a broken record. A really good team is not going to make the postseason, even with the new postseason expansion. This division is loaded. And I can make a case for every team in this division to come out on top and also make it the postseason. I could also probably come up with the reason they don't make it. This thing is competitive top to bottom. I mean, you wouldn't be wrong to pick any of these clubs to win the division.
No, you wouldn't. And you're exactly right. There is going to be a good team. They might not have a winning record, but they're a very competitive team that's going to miss out on the postseason. I guess, straying away from our two clubs, because obviously we're, competitors every year now, but Fargo's always Fargo. They're going to hit. They added a couple of pieces in their trade from Milwaukee with Manuel Boscan. I believe he's on the visa reserve list to start the year, but he'll, obviously join the team and be pretty good. Fargo's just really, Brian Flores is back. They have some really good players up there. I'm excited to see how Lincoln does with Brett Jody, just because last year he took over a roster that really was not his. And Jody was kind of the, I say the Joe Calfapietro, Steve Montgomery of the Atlantic League. He was in the playoffs every year. The guy knows how to win. He almost dragged a pretty banged up Salt Dogs team into the postseason last year. And Sioux Falls in that ballpark is always it's always a crapshoot when you go there, how things play out. And it feels like Winnipeg, it's time for Winnipeg to be Winnipeg again. They were a travel team in 2020, really again in 2021. They're finally going to be playing at home at Shaw Park all season long. They haven't made the postseason since they won the whole thing in 17, if I'm correct on that. I could be wrong. Steve Schuster will be quick to correct me on that.
They're back-to-backers,
Yeah, exactly. They won back-to-back, and I don't think they've been kind of quiet since then. So it feels like it's time for Rick Forney and the Gold Eyes to, kind of be back into the fold of contenders this year.
Your club, I look up and down, and I think of one key name that I think that just – and he does it defensively first, Chase Harris. Mm-hmm. He's a guy that – the only guy I think in the league in center field who can really – he can save you – one or two runs a game, especially in a clutch game. I see what he's become as a ball player, having him back at kind of a defense. And usually you talk about offense, but his defense can really set the tone for this ball club.
Yeah, that's why I've been pushing the league to change the Defensive Player of the Year award to the Chase Harris Defensive Player of the Year award. It felt like at a certain point last year that it was every series he was making a ridiculous play. The sliding plays and the routine, I say routine, a diving play and a web gem for anyone else is kind of like, okay, Chase dove and made the play. Yeah, he left his feet. Who cares? He didn't go over a wall to get it. He didn't leap 10 feet in the air to get it. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. But you're exactly right. He's a huge security blanket for the pitcher. If a ball's hit to center field, they really don't have to worry about it. And especially with our outfield, we have a very spacious outfield, and you guys have those large gaps in Kansas City. Chase Harris can, turn a lot of would-be doubles into outs.
No doubt about it. Nate Sampson, healthy. He's back. He is the heart and soul. Of course, so with Michael Lang for so many years, those two guys as mainstays. But Nate, who's a phenomenal young man, much like Michael is as well. I guess he's sort of the captain du jour, the face of the franchise. He's the guy that's going to, maybe not obviously lead the team on the field, but just lead the team in general.
Yeah, and like you said, Nate obviously is a great player. The MVP back in 2016. I remember it was actually in Kansas City. I was at the outlet malls, and someone brought up that Nate Sampson's been killing us for years. So he's not just a household name in Sioux City, he's a household name everywhere in the American Association. And like you said, he's even more valuable in what doesn't show up in the box score, which is on the field, his leadership, and in the clubhouse. He keeps the boat going. He keeps it rowing, and he holds people accountable with his own play. He's definitely one of those guys that's, I'm not going to tell it, but I'm going to show you how it needs to be done. And when he leads by example and everybody else definitely follows suit. So it's awesome to have him back.
What a great guy too. Connor Ryan's with us here on Monarchs Mocha. Dan Vaughn with you, our opening week extravaganza. Jose Sermo, no longer with the ball club, playing over in the Industrial League of Japan. How do you feel that hole?
Well, unfortunately, not day one. Adamar Rifiala and Danry Vasquez are kind of going to be the two guys that help fill that hole eventually. But they're like, Isabel for you guys with the visas right now that we're kind of waiting on them a little bit. But for day one, I would probably say you're going to see Gabe Snyder, our first baseman, projected to be that corner infielder bat. He's got some pretty good pop, and watching the exhibition game yesterday, he had a couple of hits, and I expect, honestly, Sebastian Zawada to take a big jump this year. He played 90 games last year, looked healthy, and he's a name I've heard a lot about this spring training.
Yeah, he's a guy that when I look at him, I kind of see a little from the other side of the field, obviously, a little Michael Langness to him as well, maybe a little more pop. But, I mean, he just has something. There's something about him. My eye test tells me that Zawada has got a little something there. Pitching-wise, Steve Montgomery always builds his thing with that deep pitching staff. Of course, Mongo, a pitching savant, I guess. I mean, he knows his stuff. He always finds those arms, unearths those arms like an arm factory. Sometimes he starts the bullpen. Sometimes he starts with the rotation, but he just gets those arms. Tell us about those arms. I know that you've got the rotation for the series, but tell us what you can tell overall how that staff looks.
Well, Steve Montgomery, his best teams, the ones I can think of, in 15 with the 75 win club and 18 the 71 win club, it was built around pitching. So he's getting back to his roots and getting back to what works, which is, go in and build a elite bullpen and a very good starting rotation. Night one, you guys are going to see Kevin McCanna. He was a AAA arm last year. He pitched for us 5 years ago. He was a bullpen arm. He's turned into a starter now. They're really excited about him, obviously, to start him night one. Tyler Beardsley, he'll pitch game two. He'll pitch on Saturday. I'm excited to have him back. He took a line drive off the hand in Kane County early June last year and was out for the rest of the season. So when he left, he was, I believe, leading the league in wins and strikeouts, or at least our team. Either way, he was very productive for us. So I'm really happy to have him back. You know him from Australia when he was with Melbourne, how good he is. And then Carlos Sierra, last time we saw him was 2019, but he was our best starter in the second half of that 2019 season. He was really good for us. I'm really excited to have him back. And then obviously the other guys, Hedges, Leday, Adcock, bringing them back. They were pretty good for us last year. And then obviously the bullpen again. Matt Poberico's gone. He's not here, but Nate Gherkin's still here. Max Coons is still here. Guys very high velocity. They have some pretty good fastballs. And, some other names like Kevin Lennox, he was a AAA arm. For Omaha and Worcester, I believe, or maybe.
Yeah, take the day first.
That's right.
Around, but, he should be really good out of the pen as well. Thomas McElraith, he competes. And then of course Tyler Cook. I mean, he threw a no-hitter last year, and he was really good as a left-handed reliever for us, and came up with a lot of big outs as a youngster. So, and Jonas Smith. I mean, the guy actually he pitched really well against Kansas City last year. I remember. So,
no problem.
We have a lot of arms. I'm sure I'm missing a couple of names, but
that's what Steve Montgomery does, builds that thing through arms. Connor Ryan with us here as we round third, head for home here on Monarchs Mocha, our week-long look at the American Association West Division. Couple of final things. One more serious note. A lot of fans have seen the news in Sioux City, post online, things of that nature. A lot of questions have been asked. And having been in that situation personally with the old T-Bones here, just what's the general demeanor of the fans up there right now with some of the news that's been going on? I mean, I think that's the easiest way to phrase the question.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, some of the fans were a little worried, to be quite honest. But what I keep telling them is, look, we're going to have Sioux City Explorers baseball here this season, and I plan on having it next season and the year after that, the year after that. And we're celebrating our 30th season this year. I'm looking forward to celebrating our 60th year someday. So, that's what I tell them.
I do the math here. You're going to be Well, you going to be that? I'm just kidding. I'm just
Well,
messing with
I mean,
it.
so opening night, we're bringing back a few big names. Maybe I'll be one of those people.
Right.
But,
You'll be the Dave Nitz that'll be brought out opening night, right?
Yeah,
Back
exactly.
Someday.
Right. So, no, but I mean, I don't know anything about the seats, in terms of any of the politics behind it. I know my seat in the press box works just fine. But I mean, we're still going to have Sioux City Explorers baseball. I don't predict anything happening. And like I said, I hope that the Sioux City Explorers are one of the original teams in independent baseball. It'd be a shame for that to change, and I don't expect it to.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, those radio seats are fine. Tell them that mine's fine too. You get the message that mine's fine. And I can always high five Jamie next to me and all that, so it's always good. Final thing, the other day I had Steve Schuster on, and we were discussing possible matchups. Steve, of course, likes to throw and does the pitching thing and films himself velo and all that, his arm angle. And I proposed a challenge. Now, Brad Albert, of course, not our division anymore, but Brad comes into play. I'm going to catch. Schuster's going to be pitching. Now, Brad won't get a chance to answer this for a while, but Steve and I have challenged, thought it would be great to have you and Brad, because you guys had the burger off last year with Whataburger and In-N-Out, maybe a hit off, like a home run derby. We'll bring the fences in. And Schuster's going to. Now, could Schuster strike you out first, or would he strike out Allred first? I guess that's my question.
Oh man, I'm gonna say he's gonna strike out Brad first, because Brad's gonna go down on 3 pitches. I'm probably gonna go down on 4. I'll at least take one. Brad would be the guy that swings at anything. Brad's gonna swing at the slider that's in the other batter's box. I guarantee that. And then he would swing at it and have the audacity to turn to the ump and be like, "Hey, was that a strike or no? That just what I swing at there." Is that the edge of the zone?
Hey, Red Runner fans, that was a strike, huh? I mean, you're not going to see him say that now.
Was that the edge of the zone there? We did the Instagram live the other night together, and Brad admitted that.
I was watching. I was there. They're supposed to let me in, but I just kept chatting. They wouldn't let me in. I don't know what the deal was,
but Brad did admit. So you heard Brad admitted I was the more physical specimen between the two of us. So
and that's what Michael Dixon said too on our interview on Wednesday. He said that he was going to take you in this battle. So I'm just going to call. I told Steve, I'll just put the fingers down. You just throw what you want to throw. I'll just catch and I'll be fine. So
I'm not very good. I'm not very good. I mean, I tried taking BP once last year. It didn't go well. So
yeah, I'm going to hurt myself.
Yeah, I rolled over the second.
Hey, Connor, I appreciate your time as always. Look forward to seeing you in Kansas City, and always just a pleasure. And look forward to catching up with you down the road. And thanks for getting this. He's just a great mate, my friend.
Yeah, appreciate it, Dan. Happy to be on.
Let me get that all locked in. And then as far as price goes, it's a $19 ticket price. Sales tax, and then gets figured in as well as a one-time per ticket processing fee, $2.50.
Well, a big thanks to Connor Ryan, who joined us right there. Oops, there we go. Let me move this. There we go. Here we go. On the screen there. Big thanks to Ryan. You think I win, Chris? You think I win? I don't know. Gosh, not to be the braggadocious guy from my younger years, but there was a time where I think I could probably hold my own. And actually, going back to Gary, in the first year here, part of my little workout program was to actually hit the cage, in the off season, was because it would give me a pretty good workout. But I don't think I'd have it. We'll see. Anyway, Chris, I appreciate the kind words. All good. Glad you guys are along here on Monarchs Mocha. Just a couple things here. Don't forget, gates open at 6:00 tonight. Put the light back on there. Sun is out. I'm no weatherman, but I play one on TV. That's what most of these folks are. If you just read the blogs, and I remember on the weather blogs today, it's sort of the quote unquote possible. Anytime you get cold fronts and warm fronts, things are possible, but it can also be nothing. So honestly, this is what we go through this every year. This is what we do in this part of the country. You guys know the drill. This is what happens in this part of the country. So we go about our business and let the weather do what the weather does. We're going to do what we're going to do. And hopefully the two will cooperate. I believe it will. Like I said, the sun is out and all looking good. I'm going to remix the song "The Sun Is Out in the Kansas Sky." Thank you, Bobby. Good luck tonight. Rest of the season. Just you guys down in Florida. Hope you're doing well, and family seems to be doing well. Brian says yes. Now that's the final segment, Brian. So you're right on. You got my notes here. I'm going to get to all that. Let's see here. Chase, good to see you, mate. Sean saying great day to play baseball. Amen to that. And yes. What I'm going to do here before we close today, I'm going to walk you through how you can find our broadcast. Now, and I'm asking you, as fans, mates, whatever you are, whatever you call yourself, and I hope you guys all know that you're dear to me. How can you find our broadcast? So I thought I would take a little moment here and walk you through it. Let me move the light so I can actually see the screen a little better. I'm going to walk you through the process. Now, the association is doing some things this year that they've not done before. They are providing in certain ballparks a road audio feed to go with the home audio feed. So, when, for example, if you watch us play Lincoln, you would see the Lincoln you wanted to watch on the American Association TV site. You would see the broadcast, and you would see hear Michael Dixon, our dear mate we had on Wednesday. I love the guy, but you wouldn't get us. There's no option for us. You have to go to MixLR. You'd have to put the two together, two browsers together. You don't got to do that anymore. Now, it may be a little wonky early because this is something we've not done before under this setup. The old setup from 3-4 years ago, when we used to be able to do this, was a different streaming service and a different way we did it. This is a different service. Vimeo is the video service in the league, and their process is a little different. So we're all going through this together. All the ballparks are going through this together to get this worked out. And the plan is that you'll get a dual audio stream when you go to the American Association site, which I'll put that link up in a moment. You'll be given a chance to, let's say we're in Lincoln, you'll get a chance to either watch the Lincoln Salt Dogs and listen to their commentary, we say in Australia, or watch the video with our commentary. That's the first way to find the games. Second, MixLR, home and away. Now, here's the deal. When we're on the road, you won't get the pre and post game on the road. You're only going to get as much as they let their video stream go, and then it chops off. You want to get all that extra bonus content, that's going to be pre and post game on MixLR. Home games, this is new this year for us. We worked tirelessly here. They're working right now. As a matter of fact, some new cables are brought in today to bring you expanded pregame coverage on our video show. So what you heard and what you hear on MixLR, on our Monarchs Broadcast Network audio feed, you're going to hear and see something complimentary going with that on our video stream beginning at 6:30 home game, okay, tonight. Now, tonight, because of the way the ring ceremony is going to go, you're going to wind up seeing most of the ring ceremony on that show anyway. So, because it's such a special night. But in general, you're going to have a really large block of programming leading you up to first pitch on our home games. Again, road games, you're going to have to listen to the radio side because we're at the we're at the mercy of when the visiting team flips their stream on. So teams who come here will have plenty of leeway. Not every place is like that. Some places fired up right at first pitch. Some go a little sooner. It just kind of depends. So let me walk you guys through. First off, I'm going to go to the aabaseball.tv site first. And I'm going to bring that up and put that on the screen for you so you guys can kind of see it. There we go. And I'll screen share it for you so you can still give me just a moment to pull this up. This is what you're going to see. You're going to go to the association site, and then you're going to click. There we go. I'm going to click it, and I'm going to screen share it now. I don't know why that people keep asking. That's behind me. But yes, that's next. At least I can catch up here. Yes, American Association TV is on Roku, by the way. All right, let me try this again, right? I was trying to do this, and then we lost the internet for a moment. So let me try it again. Let's do this again. Let's screen share. Let's try that. So, okay. All right, I want to walk you through what happens. We're going to screen share. This is the screen of the American Association TV site. Here it is. I'm going to put it up on the screen for you. And there it is. I'm going to put me in the corner there. Actually, I'll put me in the
Monarchs baseball. This is
yeah. Well, you see me in the corner. Let me take the logo down too, so you can kind of see what we're talking about. There it is, right there. It's AA, the AA Baseball.TV site. That's AABaseball.tv. Let me go ahead and give you the link, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat here before we go. So let's do that. But there you go. That's the site right there. Let me pick the.
Okay.
There we go.
Pull up your account real quick. I think.
So there you go. That's what it looks like. That's the site right there. And again, I'm going to. I just put the
It was 48
in the chat. Sorry, we lost the internet for a moment. That's kind of why our wheels are off here. But there we go. Okay, so it's in the chat there, and I'll put up on the screen as well. That is the association site, and that's where all the games are right there. You can check that out. And again, that is where you want to go. And again, I don't know why it's taking a moment to fire up, but all right, let's go ahead and take this down here. I don't know why it.
didn't give me that, so I imagine it had to be here a little bit.
It's got a real bad glare here to get in, and it's there we go. All right. Okay, so there you go. The association site, AABaseball.tv site. And again, I'm putting the link. Let's just do this because it's not working for me.
No problem. Yeah,
sorry, folks.
Let me. Best is to email it to me because I'm going to be running around here.
This will work if I do this.
Just preparing for tonight. But,
there we go.
Yeah, but if you want to give me a shot before then,
there you go, right there. There you go. There you go. There's where you go right there, and that's the page I was showing you. So that's the video side, home and away. Now, for you folks that want to listen to the radio, that's a little different animal, and we're going to show you that right now. And that is going to be MixLR. So let's go there. Let me screen share MixLR. And let's do that. This should be a little easier this time. So I've got everything hooked up. And we will go to MixLR. There we go. All righty. I'm going to bring this on the screen for you. This is our audio platform for the broadcast on the radio side. And I'm going to bring that screen up. There you go. And let me take this down. You get an idea of kind of what it is. Very interactive. You can see it right there. It's got, let me kind of give you the full screen here. And I'll kind of walk you through it. But on the left is the player chat light right there. We can chat back and forth. And this was from last Sunday. This was the conversation we were having last Sunday. In that web address, if I can find it for you. I swear it's here. Well, anyway. Let me get it for you. There we go. And here's the web address right here. So again, I'm going to put this in the chat as well. And you guys can look at that. You can go back, and if you're watching us on replay, you can see this. And if you're watching us now live, here we go. And I'll put up the screen for you as well. So this is where you go if you want to see the broadcast. And again, I'm really looking forward to having you guys join us on the broadcast. And there's where you can find it right there. A lot of fun, interactive. And again, those are your options right there. You can also see it and in some other places too, but those are the two main. The booth cam will be up as well, but you've got to know where to go for that. And that's going to be on my YouTube and my Facebook page. I'll talk more about that next week, but the booth cam is more important really for you folks that go through social media. But if you follow me on social, you'll be able to find on YouTube, Dan Vaughn Jr. Broadcaster. That's where you'll find the booth cam. You can kind of get an idea what's behind the scenes going on in the broadcast. So right there. So that's how we're going to find things this week. Okay, there you go, this season. And I hope you guys will join us and join us all season long. Really, again, set those reminders. All those services have reminders. So I invite you to please set them. To let you know when we're what's good about MixLR, it lets you know when we're on. So that's a good thing. You'll get a little notice, and you'll know you remember it's a ball game. It's got a great phone app as well you can use. So I invite you guys. But I really want you guys to join us this year. We're really trying to make some strides here, and we need you folks to be a part of it. So join us on the broadcast tonight. Airtime will be at 6:30 on AABaseball.tv and on MixLR. And we'll come your way here from Legends Field in Kansas City, the Sioux City Explorers, and your Kansas City Monarchs. Game 1 of a 3-game series. The season opener of the 2022 season. Reign Reborn, trying to reign again this year, going for back-to-back titles in the American Association. All right, last call for questions and comments. Again, thanks for stopping by. Glad you stopped by. And love you guys. You guys are great. Again, pennants tonight for you folks. Coming in the gates. The gates swing at 6. It's going to be a lot of fun. So get your tails the ballpark. Tickets, of course, 913-328-5618. Operators are standing by. Great merch as well downstairs. Got a lot of new stuff. Get out the ballpark. Come and join your Kansas City Monarchs here in 2022. Again, thanks for taking the time to stop by with me for a minute, the entire show. Thanks to Connor Ryan. And thanks to all the broadcasters of this league. Of course, Connor from Sioux City. We had Michael Dixon stop by the other day. Yesterday, Chad Eckern stopped by from Fargo. Also, Tanner Hoops from Sioux Falls. We began the week with the division bunkmate Steve Schuster starting us off from Winnipeg, the new division, the West Division in the American Association. And again, thanks to the entire Monarchs front office and for you folks stopping by, the best fans in the American Association, the fans of the Kansas City Monarchs. Let's be better tomorrow than we were today. Let's show more love tomorrow we did today, and let's keep going forward, pulling for our Monarchs, a little Reign Reborn here in Kansas City. All right, I'll see you in the broadcast. Not everybody, a little closing jam, I hope. Let's try it. Let's see if it works. Let's try it. Play it. 3, 2, 1. There we go. There we go.
Monarchs Baseball, this is Mick. Yeah.